Yo, what's up, citizens of the World Wide Web? It's your boy, Mr. 13, and I'm back with another edition of The Sit Down. If y'all tuned into the last episode, we just finished filming Diz the Icon. I want to shout out Diz for sitting down with us, but I got another artist in the building today.
Sir.
He is an MC as well as a designer, and we're going to get to know some of the aspects of things that he does outside of the music as well. Sitting with me is Justice Samari.
Samari, yes, sir. What's going on, bro? Thank you for having me, man.
Yo, it's a pleasure. Thank you for coming through. So we're going to begin like we always do. We want to give the listeners a in-depth background of who you are.
Okay.
So let them know where you come from.
Like he said, my name is Justice Samari from Brooklyn, New York, from Flatbush stand up. My origin story, I think, is one that's like super common. You know what I'm saying? Come from a single parent household. Me, my mom, my sister, grew up in a crib with cousins and my grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Spent time back and forth between moms and pops at times. Lost my pops when I was real young. And, I got embraced by a lot of other things that, a single mom just can't keep you away from.
Got you.
And then I kind of stepped into music real heavy. And that's how I get, here. Okay. So music been around me forever. Like music is like my first real love of things. Like my older brothers rap, you know what I'm saying? I got my older cousin, he rap. Being the youngest dude, like I watched all of the homies, like I was telling you out there, like, Dan's, Brooklyn Stick Up in them, like I grew up around them. I watched all of them have ciphers and all of that when I was young.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be a part of that because, like, that was the coolest shit to me.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was heavy on words and books and learning and reading. Yeah. And so the rapping and expressing myself just came so naturally to that's what, that's how I get right here, man, for sure. Yeah.
Got you. So you mentioned that you grew up in Flatbush.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in Flatbush? Was it a big hip hop community out there?
Nah, so the part that I live in, I live like right on the edge of the Jewish community.
Okay.
So it's like you go up 2 blocks, it's like, the hood, you feel me?
Yeah.
But you go back 2 blocks, that's like the Russian section, Okay. You go this way 2 blocks, you got the Bangladesh and Pakistani side. And so to me it was like, looking at it like at the end of the day, it's a mixed culture. I think that the people there, cause it's a low income area.
Yeah. Still,
like with all of the different mixed people, it's a low income area. And I think it defines what hip hop is because everybody's pretty much struggling still. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in my building going through the same things, like no matter where you're from, Haiti, Africa, Jamaica, any other island, wherever you from, Puerto Rican, you struggling on your rent, you late on your rent. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that what inspires me is that. You know what I'm saying? Like the people, like my friends that I grew up with. So, yeah, I don't think the area is super hip-hop inspired, but I think, it's definitely, it's one of them places that inspired culture, you know what I'm saying? Like pressure, for sure.
I was just going to ask you that. Like, how did growing up in Flatbush inspire, or how is it affecting your music?
It's affecting it in a way that I would say I want to be different than what everybody's doing. I remember when I first started rapping from Flatbush, you had Flatbush Zombies, Underachievers, Joey Badass, Capital Steez. You had these guys, and they were like all super different. You know what I'm saying? Then, you got to like find yourself in the midst of all that happening, and these guys are taking off. So for me, it's like, let me just like find my thing, like do my thing. It inspired me in that way. Like everybody from Flatbush, like we got this thing where other neighborhoods look at it like it's a bunch of weirdos in that section, and it's like, cause it kind of is like everybody's weird, you got dudes like they skating, they dyeing their hair, they got piercings in their eyebrows, some of them, you know what I'm saying, but it's still a place, you know what I'm saying, like it's a real place, and everybody over there got a goal and a dream they chasing, so that's kind of what inspired me, just like I said, the people being who they are, individuals, you know what I'm saying, being yourself.
Yeah, and even though that they're skateboarding and they might have different colored hair and piercings, don't sleep.
Nah, not at all.
You'll get got.
Absolutely.
Quick.
Absolutely, for sure.
So being from Flatbush and Brooklyn, New York, what was it that made you decide that you wanted to be into hip hop? What was it about hip hop that attracted you to the culture?
I grew up around just rap and music. My oldest brother, he from the DMV. He rap, you know what I'm saying? My cousin, Wayne White, he was a rapper. He used to run around with the boot camp clique and all of that. I remember being young and like going to their shows and being in the studio with them real young. And my mom, she used to have me writing a lot. Like I used to have to write. I remember MC Light said one time she used to have to write essays and stuff. My mom made me read books, like go through school days and have to write summaries about what I was doing, whatever I read, whatever I learned that day. And I was into it. Yeah. I went to my junior high school for creative writing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So writing always been like something that I felt like I can express myself in, honestly, because you ain't gotta always let somebody read your shit. You know? But the performing and the rapping aspect of it, like, you know, like I said before, like just watching dudes siphon and take them raps that they was writing and go and like hearing what other people were saying is like this how he even put that together. Like that was always fire to me. And where I'm at now with it, like I just I love being able to tell my story, you know what I'm saying, and look and reflect through the music, and like, you know, always go back to my old music and be like, damn, like look at how far I came, how much better I've gotten at expressing myself, and even learning new things about myself from things that, you know, I think when you rapping sometime and you get in the flow, like in the studio, you get to the mic, you just freestyling, rapping, whatever. Even if you're writing, you can unconsciously express things. And when you go back, it's like, damn, like I said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did I say it like that? Why did I say it in this way that might have glorified or objectified or talked down on whatever it was? You know what I'm saying? And then you grow through that type of stuff. So to me, like, I love the growth of that hip hop has given me and the space to grow in it, like, as I have. Yeah.
So you threw this question at me outside, and I want to throw it back at you. What is hip hop to you?
Hip hop to me is street urban culture, simply put. Like hip hop is the lifestyle of the scandalous, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just falling in love with, like, you know, just your surroundings and embracing it and expressing it in different ways. You know, like we was having a convo out there, like, you know, hip hop is the way you dance, it's the way you talk, it's the way you walk, it's the way you carry yourself, it's the way you write, you know what I'm saying? It's all of that. You know, so I think hip hop is the thing that's influencing everything else, for sure. You know what I'm saying? You got different genres of music, everybody trying to incorporate a little bit of hip hop flavor into what they got going on. Hip hop is the lifestyle, you know. That's just what it is. Yeah,
definitely influential worldwide, changing everything.
For sure.
I told them hip hop was life for me, and I want to explain that a little more, because from what I meant by that is, like, I was born into the culture, so it's like a fish in water. It's like you don't even know you're in the water, because, you know, it's surrounding you. So that's kind of like what hip hop was for me. It was something that was always around me. Yeah. So we got into some interesting talking out there, and we were talking about the parameters of hip hop and what artists you consider hip hop and what you might not consider hip hop. So what are the parameters that you feel defines a hip hop artist?
Okay, smooth. I think the parameters are super simple. I think that you got to be speaking for or to a people from a space of overcoming the oppression of your immediate surroundings, or overcoming the oppression of your people. And I think that's where hip hop starts from. And I think that's what it still is today. I think, like, it's a lot of dudes that even they may not be super overt with it, like they doing that. They speak into the rebellion of, like, you know, doing them and overcoming and grinding up out of a rock and a hard place. You know, and inspiring people to do so through their music. So I think that's what it is. Hip hop is about, you know, coming up out of it and inspiring those to, you know, do the same through this thing.
So who out there do you feel upholds those standards for you?
I think Jay-Z is like top tier rap hip hop. Like he's like the rap god, you know what I'm saying? But hip hop wise, like I find new ways to like fall in love with the music of Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, all the time, because there's so many like levels to it. You know what I'm saying? When you're young, like, you know, growing up, I grew up in the early 2000s.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was born in 97, so Jay-Z was all over the radio already. He was already Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? He was already Hove. So he was already that guy. So you loving just, I'm a hustler, baby, right? And then you get to getting a little bit older and you kind of learn to digest music in a real way, and you going back and you hearing songs like Song Cry, You Must Love Me, all of these things where he's expressing this just his narrative of, you know, his home base and where he's from, and then watching the uprising, like watching the growth of it all, like him becoming a husband and a father and still keeping it thorough and giving you the story in a real way, never, you know, denying the roots, you know what I'm saying, of where he come from. So I think Jay-Z is the coldest top tier explanation of like what hip hop is. And I think like somebody that's like more fairly new, I say like I don't even listen to music like that, but I would say like, you know, you got like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, like those dudes do it. They speak into the people from where they from and people like them. And I say who else? Lupe Fiasco. They're not new, but like these are guys that like from when I started like loving music. These is who I looked at. You know, and then I think a lot of like even Uzi, I think Uzi to a degree is like a hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think his music is always rap music or, you know, what hip hop would consider the music of hip hop. Yeah. It's real poppy, punk rock style, rock star shit. But I think like what he does, he inspires the youth. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you know, he's reachable too. Like he be in his city like in a real way. Like he interact with the kids and stuff like that. You catch Uzi, like at least from on the internet. I ain't never been to Philly, like, you know, out there like that. But you see him on the internet, you know, break dancing in the spots with the kids. Like he's still out there. So I think he's somebody that represents it, and to what the new people are looking at. You know, hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting you mentioned Uzi because some people, they hate on him. And they say, oh, he's not hip hop, and I actually think he's a lot.
Me too.
He represents the culture in its original essence.
Hell yeah.
Which is where, you know, you're not copying someone else. You're being yourself. You're being original about the approach to the music.
But you know what though? I think Uzi also knows how to steal like an artist. You know what I'm saying? Uzi is able to be him, but also acknowledge like, yeah, Young Thug inspired me. Lil Wayne inspired me. Like these are like Lil Wayne is one of my biggest rap inspirations. Like so. Of all the things that inspired Uzi, you know what I'm saying, or inspired me and Uzi, inspired J. Cole and Kendrick, it's like it's a thing there, you know what I'm saying? Like these is and then on top of that, that's just the music thing, you know. Then you got the environment thing, like Uzi's for sure hip hop. You know,
definitely. They say genius borrows.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And just like our favorite rappers from, you know, like Jay-Z and Nas, these guys, they borrow from the Coogee Raps, from the Big Daddy Kanes, from the KRS-Ones, you know? So it's right down the same line, you know? And also Little Uzi's song, I don't know the name of it right now. It just came out. The beat and the strings on it reminds me of Planet Rock.
The I Just Wanna Rock joint.
Yeah,
that's a and it's funny like that's a and that borrows from even the whole Jersey club culture of music. You know what I'm saying? Like Uzi's a guy that knows how to put it together. You know, take what's here and put it together well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can see that Planet Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it gives me that old school feel. I grew up on in the 80s, so when I first heard it, it gave me that feeling.
Yeah, he make you want to move with his music, like, and I think that's just what music is. Period, making you want to move. And I think a lot of artists, including myself, don't always like live by that. Like, you know, we trying to like sometimes push a message or a narrative or like it's express ourselves, but Uzi's music still making people want to move. Like you hear that I Wanna Rock joint, you might not get out there shaking your hips, but you're going, you know, you going to bounce with it, you know what I'm saying? You're going to vibe with it for sure. It's undeniable, like, vibes, you know?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Fact. So we're talking about borrowing and the culture and the process of creating music. What's your process like? How do you create your music?
It takes a lot of reflecting sometimes. Like, I've gone, like, months without making new songs before, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's in like my most unhealthiest stages of like making music. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like I gotta always have motivation to do it. Whereas I've allowed it to now become a discipline.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Where I watched this, I think it was a Rick Ross interview. He was like, Jay-Z told him, don't just pick the beats you think work. Like, what can you make work? And that was my biggest thing. Like, I used to think that I gotta find like the fire beats to say what I want to say, and you do. Every beat should be fire because that's the first thing they hear is the music. But at the same time, it's like you gotta find what speaks to you, because what's speaking to you is gonna also speak to somebody that's like you, and you gotta find your audience and speak to your people, because you can be from the same place as somebody, but y'all got different audiences. You could be from, you know what I'm saying, the same building, but y'all pushing a different message. You could be somebody's brother, but y'all just y'all lives and ways of expression is so different. So yeah, I think my creative process is all like reflecting on what life has been like for me up to the point that I'm at, you know, knowing what I want to say and getting to it, you know, and letting every song be its own song, be an individual song, and not having to feed off of what I just did, not competing with myself, not competing with nobody else. I just came off a stint of like not listening to no music for a long time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So what was it that made you take a break from listening to music?
Just didn't agree.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of like I'm like over that idea of like, just, even my daughter out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just think like, you know, being a young parent, it kind of like, you know, it just make you look at things a little bit differently. Like, not saying I'm all the way super righteous and super, I'm just saying like, I just look at things for what they are now, and I think like if something is toxic, I just would like to choose to not partake. So it's like, I still like my favorite songs, of course, but I think a lot of the music that my generation is pumping out is just super toxic, and like, just like everybody smoked out, fucked out, like girls is pushing this whole culture. Like, I can't, like, I'd be in a gut-wrenching pain if my daughter was like pushing these messages. And not saying these women can't be, you know, upstanding members of this society, but it's just like what you pushing out to these young girls who don't know you for real is this. Like, life ain't always about business. Like, life ain't always about just get your bag and run it up. Life ain't about just fucking somebody's bitch. Life ain't about just that. If you want your life to be about that, cool. It's an audience for that, clearly. But I feel like the fact that that's just what the kind of model is right now. Everybody, you doing that, or you got to do that to even get on. I think that it's like it got corny to me, and I was like, yo, I don't even want to hear that shit. You know, I'd rather like listen to nothing. I did start watching a lot more TV, which is kind of played out, but I feel like you know, watching more TV made me sit with my daughter more and like, you know, like look at what she looking at, watch things together, and yeah, like it kind of became like a cleansing moment. I appreciate music a lot more now though. Yeah, like for sure. I don't think I would have had the same realization about Uzi without like having to digest what he puts out to the world without listening to his music. Gotcha. I had to kind of like just be an observer like on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I still tap into like platforms and you see what people are doing. Yeah. So yeah, so you know, you take the music out of the equation for a second, you get to really see what somebody's real thing is. People can say anything, but you watch somebody, what they doing is gonna really show the whole get down. So yeah. Yeah, we had this conversation with Legacy and Diz on Legacy Show. The conversation we was talking about Sexy Red. Diz, man, I just met Diz. He's a cool dude. Yeah, he's a cool dude. Sexy Red. Yeah. Right. Ice Spice, Lotto. They kind of push the same type of music. Do you think that that's them being creative, or you think the industry is pushing this narrative for women to be like that? I think that for sure, definitely all agenda. But I do think that they have their different ways of pushing those messages. I think that they get creative in the ways they do it. I think like I've heard the term Pound Town for years. Like girls always talk about Pound, like that ain't some new shit. But she took the phrase that been there and made a crazy hit, and that's a hit. You feel me? Like when I was in spots at the time when the song first dropped, and I used to be shorty be like, where the niggas that get ratchet? Like they get right here. What you talking about? Yeah. Let's do it up. But at the same time, it's like I said, like, you know, it's cool for that space and that environment, which I think that whole club shit, it's a toxic environment. You in there getting drunk, and they're trying to fuck something, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you go there for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think, yeah, they make good music for that, and I think that's the way that's their culture too. Like, you know, I think St. Louis is like a real, like scandalous place, one of the highest murder rates, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a place where it's probably, you know, that's just where she from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be all ratchet, all turned up like that. Lotto, I don't know, I think like she be saying she's from Ohio or Atlanta or whatever, but in Atlanta it's all strip club culture. Yeah. So if you're gonna make music, you gotta make music for what's happening for the people. And if the people are in the strip club, you gotta make sure your music translates there. You know what I'm saying? For Sexy Red, if the shorties is riding around looking for the niggas who get ratchet, trying to fuck somebody's baby daddy, you gotta make music that translates for there. Yeah. Like, you know, they ain't doing nothing new. Like Trina was doing it,
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj, she rapping her ass off, but she was doing it.
Yeah.
Cardi B jumped out the gate in the strip club for real, doing it up, rapping from the strip club. You know what I'm saying? So I think shout out to them. They all creative. They all dope. Lotto can rap her ass off. I seen Lotto on that Jermaine Dupri show.
Yep. She came from that.
And my mom's, my sister used to watch that joint together. You feel me? And Lotto always been a dope rapper.
Yeah.
So I think that now she's understood growing up and becoming a woman and shit. You kind of gotta adhere to the image standards. And she knows she got her ass did. She got might have got the titties done, lip fillers, all of that. And she got cheeks. She got ass. Shout out Lotto. Lotto was fire. But it's like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's always more than them. But they just gotta follow that. They gotta follow suit. They gotta play the game. That's all right now. They all playing the game.
So as far as you go, do you think you'll play the game but throw in some conscious music in there?
I mean, I play a different game, I say. You know what I'm saying? I play the game of life, you feel me? Like, so for me, it's like, rapping isn't even going to be my end-all, be-all. Like, rapping is just, like I said, for me, it's really how I get my shit off, how I express myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, of course, I make songs that I hope, hey, this will go, right? I've done that. I've been in the studio. I got a team, you know what I'm saying? My team, like, they listen to music way different than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drake might be their GOAT, you feel me? Like, whatever. And shout out Drake, but he's just like, he's not that for me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm rapping to where I feel like, yo, like, I want my story to be understood and resonate with the people that's supposed to resonate with. You know what I'm saying? So I think like, yeah, I'll definitely, I go in there, I want to make a good song every time. I want to get more creative and push my pen every time. I want to get deep into my mind and find different elements of myself to put into the song all the time and get better. But as far as playing the game of images and all of that, like hell nah. Like I said, like end of the day, before representing a neighborhood or a group of people or a culture or an environment, I represent my mom. I represent my daughter. I represent, you know what I'm saying, my father. I represent my grandfather. I represent like my actual family. And so I don't want to be out here as a grown-ass man trying to chase clout and chase fame and to pursue my own selfish needs of validation for my music. Yeah. At the end of the day, like, I could never be lit, but I know when I was 19, me and my homies made a mixtape and sold damn near 100 CDs. Yeah. You feel me? Mm-hmm. God Juice Volume 1, sold $5 a pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was able to do that for real. Yeah. So it's like, for me, it's like I know how to find my fan base. I don't gotta play that game. Like I tell them all the time, like shout out Jordan, shout out Gus, shout out Lotto and Diz. I tell them all the time, like yo, like working with me, bro, you might have to prepare yourself to not eat at certain tables because I'm not fucking with that. Gotcha. I don't like that shit. I don't fuck with it. I'm not gonna pretend to. I don't want to shit on nothing. I don't want to disrespect nobody, but I'm not gonna compromise myself or my self-image or my self-respect to go further in something that is not even real.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we've been talking about the industry and different topics, but let's get a little bit more into you. Sure. So how long exactly have you been doing music?
I've been making music. I've been writing shit since I was like 9 years old.
9 years old?
My mom, funny ass story. My mom, not that funny, it's fucked up, but it's funny now. Like she found my rap book when I was in junior high. And I ain't have nothing in my book bag but a rap notebook.
Oh, shit.
And she sat in my grandmother in the living room with her and everything. She went through my shit, and she's like, this shit is whack.
Shout out to my
Shout out to my mother, you feel me? Shout out Robin Cullen, you feel me? I love her to death. But yeah, she did that shit, but that, she's like, she know how dope I am. She come to my shows and all that shit now. Yeah. When she can. But yeah, that lit a fire in me. Like that was like, she's like, you don't write no. But she gave me a breakdown. She's like, I wouldn't listen to this shit. You don't write no hooks. You just gonna think you're gonna just write. Who wanna even listen to this? Yeah. Who wants to hear this? Who wants to like? You should be doing this in school because this ain't it type shit. And it's like, damn, like I needed that for real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs that. Everybody
some tough love.
Do that. Yeah.
Some realness. A lot of rappers out there, they don't have that.
Hell no, they don't.
So you got a team. They're outside right now.
Yeah.
How do you know these guys? Like, how did you guys meet and link up?
So, my daughter's mother, one of her closest friends from when she was younger, that's Dave. Man, they went to school together. Okay. And I met them in a session with him. we had this we still have this collective of artists called the Contemporaries.
Okay.
And, we was working on a project together at the time. So that was myself, Ariome, Ely James, dope ass producer named Wody Woe, LT Marvelous, my boy Nah. You know, everybody kind of coming together. If I forgot anybody, forgive me. But like, you know, we all coming together, and Oz and Jordan Aladdin, you know what I'm saying, he my DJ as well.
Okay.
And we all came together, and like I was like, yo, they kind of hit me up on the outside of the group, like, yo, like we heard your music, we believe in your shit, and we want to just like help you however we can go to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was about 2 years ago. My daughter was still a little baby at the time, and I was like, fuck it. I was like, I had kind of distanced myself from music during quarantine because like I was being a new dad. Like I was there, my baby mom's every day her pregnancy, so I ain't had nothing to really rap about in my mind, at least at that time. Like my whole existence is this girl and this baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For like 9 months straight, and then months after that. And so, you know, we locked in, and they assisted me in getting my footing back right. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, you know, let's get into the studio. Let's tap in with other producers. Let's try different things musically that you may not have been trying because you was just locked into your ways. And so they definitely inspired me in that way. And Aladdin being a DJ, you know, I fuck with his ear a lot. Like he listens to things a different way. You know, like he knows, all right, well, if you want your shit played in the club, that ain't gonna be it. Like you gotta, you know, do something different to it. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, like that's how we met. We met like on some music shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my boy Gus, Justo. Excuse me. Yeah, my boy Justo. He another part of the team. You know, we're a 4-man team. Eternal Soundscapes. That's the business. That's the label.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the imprint name?
Eternal Soundscapes. You know what I'm saying? It's the E right here. Cook this logo up, holding my baby, sitting there just at the table, just trying different shit, and I just drew this. And I don't think it's something that's super crazy. I'm pretty sure other brands got different variations of this right here, but you know, this one right here, this boldness of it, distinctiveness of it, for me is like, you know it's an E, especially when you see it. Like it's a cold, it's a eternal, man. It's eternal soundscapes. You know, we're making music that we feel like can translate and go further than just somebody that's, you know, right here. You know, make the song and let it resonate over there. You know what I'm saying? Let it resonate through time, and we're trying to make some classic shit. So that's how we linked up, just wanting to give our opinion and our imprint on this music thing.
Got you. So you got a 4-man team for Eternal Soundscapes?
Hell yeah. And it's really even deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like I shouted out my boy Lotto, my boy Diz too. They from Flatbush. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Get 'em Studio. They right now, like I linked up with them early in the year, really like a year ago. And we've been just cooking up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've been crafting the sound out. And so, you know, they've been investing a lot into what we're doing as well. So I like to, you know, include them part of the team. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, they might not be on the paperwork eternal with us, but like they locked in the lab with us every week. You know what I'm saying? All the time, all day, from morning to night. You know what I mean?
So do you got any projects out right now, or are you working on something?
So yeah, I'm always working on some shit, but I do got projects out from, you know, time ago up to now. First project out was Free Lunch that dropped in like 2016. That's my first attempt at trying to put something together. And that was called Free Lunch. That's like a real introspective take on being like 16, 17, 18, and, you know, my life at that time. Excuse me. Then I got In Us We Trust. In between Free Lunch and In Us We Trust, we did a group project, God Juice Volume 1, that never touched the internet, but like I said, we did it up outside, you know. What else? Oh yeah, The Road Chronicles. That was a joint me and the homies did going to Atlanta.
Okay.
That's on like SoundCloud, Audio Mac. But Free Lunch, In Us We Trust. What else is out there? I got some singles out. Shots, It's Me, all platforms. You know what I'm saying? Shots featuring Nani Acosta. Yeah, man, I got a lot of shit. I'm working on a new project right now. What Would Justice Do?
Okay. So what's different about this new project from the prior work you put out there?
Grown now.
You grown now?
Grown now. It's like the whole perspective is not what it once was. Like it's not. I'm not romanticized by nothing. I'm not. I still have, you know, my illusions of what I want things to be, but it's way more rooted in my reality. Where it's like, all right, like, you know, this is how we get from point A to point B. Like I think in this project, you're gonna get to see like me taking all of these dreams of, just me and the homies being lit into me and some like-minded individuals having a plan and really doing this shit. And I think that my way of my words now is just way more vivid and I think more captivating in how I express myself through this music now. And it hits way more to me now because I'm grown now. And I've always been inspired by them grown man rappers, you know.
Got you. So you're a very thoughtful person, and besides the music, you mentioned to me that you do graphic design work, right?
Yeah, I dabble. I do all my own logos. All of the designs we do for like clothing, like I put those together.
Okay.
I like to say like I executive produce artwork type shit.
Yeah, I seen you post some of your shirts.
Yeah, like I can't draw.
Okay.
I don't draw.
You don't draw.
Like do nothing with the laptop, Procreate, Adobe, all of that shit, Photoshop. I don't do none of that shit.
No, so how do you make your shirts?
So I can put some stick figures together, you know, so I could draw some circles. This is the head, put this like that, you know what I'm saying? Do it like this. And then I'm good at communicating what I want.
Okay.
You know, like so colors and shit like that. Like I'm good at knowing what I want. And then on top of that, I know how to pick the person to work with.
Okay.
So yeah, like I have hands in everything that happens through Eternal, like clothing, anything business, any music, you know, like I just like I'm real expressive and articulate in my thing. So that's my graphic design mind. Like I more so executive produce the design than really
you coordinate.
Yeah, coordinate the shit, you know. But it got to get coordinated before it becomes anything. Got to be an idea first.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely be my ideas that I like to put out there.
All right. Besides the music and the clothing, where do you see yourself expanding into?
At my furthest, like me pushing this shit all the way, like besides the music, besides all that, like wherever life may take me, I think like I wanna start a school, like not on some Kanye shit, but on some Kanye shit. Like,
okay,
I just want to have the means to do shit like that because I think like I really I got a love for children that was rooted in, you know, being that kid that I feel like enjoyed school at one point, and then when you're going through just public school, you just become just another public school kid. Like, and then whatever you may have loved about school, if your mind isn't all the way solid, which mine really wasn't at that time, like you're gonna fall out of it and fall into the other shit.
Yeah.
And I think like I would love to curate curriculums, you know, geared towards these children. I homeschool my daughter now.
Okay.
You know, like me, like all the shit I do, I still work a job. You know what I'm saying? I make this music. I be outside doing what I gotta do. And I homeschool my kids still.
Okay.
Cause like that's just that important to me.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything revolving around her means more than whatever else.
Yeah.
So I want to like start a school someday. You know what I'm saying? Like have the funds to at least fund it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And fund the proper curriculum and hire the right teachers that care about what's going on with the children for real. Because the youth that's the future still. You know.
So when you say homeschool, you teach her at home. Is she gonna go to public school or to private school, or are you gonna try to keep her home?
I'm gonna keep her home as long as I can. Like when I'm self-aware enough to know like when it gets too much to handle, like let me not let my pride hinder her learning.
Yeah.
But right now, like bro, like my daughter's smart as hell, bro. Like she can spell her name, she can count to 25, like she can write her letters, she can write some numbers. Like my daughter, like she's so far ahead, and it's because, like I said, like from the time she was born, me and her mom was heavy on that.
Yeah. Like
education is important because both of us took our education for granted. You know what I'm saying? And like for me, understanding that, I graduated high school still, you know, both of us did. But I didn't take my education as serious as I should have.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't take it as far as I could have. I know I could have like been whatever I wanted to be in school. I could have been whatever. I just chose to be, you know, want to be funny, want to hang out with girls, want to cut school, be cool and shit like that. And I don't want my daughter to succumb to those kind of pressures while trying to learn.
Yeah.
I'd rather, you know, you can be cool as hell, you can be whatever you want to be, but it's extracurricular activities, you know, put her in dance classes, boxing classes, all of the shit where interaction and social communication is the goal here. Whereas when it's time to learn, like, nah, it's time to learn. It's time to process information. It's time to let that shit, like, hear it, see it, say it, think, and, you know, process your own thoughts. Get your own mind before you jump out into the world and they put that hive mind on you, which make you way more susceptible to the agendas of whatever going on.
Yeah.
So that's by homeschool, like it ain't even all on paperwork yet, but she only 2. You know what I'm saying? I got another year before I gotta register her and take her to it and get the whole curriculum from the school.
Yeah.
But I've been doing that. I go on education.com. Shout out to all the parents if you don't know about it. Education.com. I get all the worksheets off there. I got mad teacher homegirls. They send me everything she need to know, and I take my time and I put it to her.
That's great, man. It's great to see that you're hands-on. I'm very hands-on with my kids as well. I have 2 daughters. One is 14 and the other one is 3 years old.
That's a gap right there.
Yeah.
But that's fly though, because she, does the 14-year-old have like a sense of responsibility for the younger one?
Oh yeah, she's all into her little sister and being the big sister and showing her, how to maneuver through things.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and she's a big help for me as well. For when me and her mom are busy, she steps in and takes care of her sister for us.
That's love. Yeah.
I'm very appreciative of the way she is with our youngest daughter.
Shout out to young ladies, man. Shout out to your girls.
Thank you. So you got a young baby. She was born right in the beginning of the pandemic, huh?
Yeah, she born 2020 December 27th.
And then we went on lockdown in March.
Yes, sir.
How was that experience for you?
For me, it's the coolest shit. I mean, at the beginning it was stressful as hell, because you kind of got to do it alone. Like, everybody's sick, or you scared of being sick. I don't want to get nobody sick, or nobody want to come get my baby sick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want baby to get sick.
Were we on lockdown already, or
so we were on lockdown. So I think lockdown happened in March
of 2020. Yeah, okay.
We were on lockdown. Yeah, for sure we were, because yeah, hell yeah, that's when BM got conceived right then. You feel me? Being locked in, and shout out to her. You feel me? Yeah, so we we had her, and like we had to be in the hospital by ourselves. Our parents couldn't be there, just me and her. It's our first baby. Yeah. Like, I've never been in the hospital with babies being born for real. Like, I don't know what this shit is about. Yeah. I'm scared. I'm scared.
And it's a totally different experience for during the pandemic.
Yeah, and they don't even care that you scared in there. They don't give a fuck. Like,
they just did do the job.
Bro, my mother, my mom's like, she was like, yo, listen. She gave me the breakdown. Like, they gonna try and make her wait to push because the doctor don't get paid if he not there when the baby's born type shit. My BM, like, she does well with pain, but when she in pain, it's over with. Like, she needs, like, they gave it epidural kind of late, so it hadn't kicked in yet. So when it's like she feeling the baby coming, she like, I need to push. One nurse is like, no, you gotta wait, don't push, man. If I hadn't just had that combo with my mom, I'd be like, just hold it. I'm like, fuck that. I was moving around. I'm trying to grab gloves and shit. I'm getting other nurses. Another nurse comes and like, no, baby, push. And my daughter came out literally 2 pushes. Like, it wasn't nothing. Like, pushed her right out. She's a little ass baby though. But that shit was an experience because like you did it by yourself. And yeah, man. Shout out all of the other quarantine babies. Quarantine babies is different too. They smart as hell. Your daughter 3, right? Yep. So she's like right before the quarantine.
Yep, right before
the
quarantine.
She grew up. She going, bro, like she gonna be different mentally because they really so mature, I think, because they spend so much time with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Watching adults move so directly for 2-3 years of their life. Like, all they got is this right here. So,
yeah, my daughter is not shy to tell people what she's thinking.
Fly. She shouldn't be. Especially as a little girl.
Yeah. And she's quick to tell you if she doesn't want you around her, listen, leave me alone.
Back up.
Back up. Give me my space.
Got to be.
Yeah.
It's a good quality to have. A lot of kids, they be scared. They don't want to say nothing. Yep. And that's how, you know what I'm saying?
So your daughter's a Sagittarius?
Yeah. Nah, she a
Capricorn?
She a Capricorn. She the same way. She'll tell you, don't touch me. Get out my face. Excuse me. Yeah. Like just now, she mad candid. I farted. I'm like, don't say you farted. Say excuse me. Like, you know what I'm saying? She gonna tell you whatever. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's funny, man. Yeah, my daughter's a Sagittarius. She was born in December as well, but in the early stages of December.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's fly, man. Yeah. Shout out to quarantine babies, man.
Quarantine babies are different. Anyone who's a quarantine baby parent, y'all know what we talking about. All right, so what can we expect? You got this new project that you're working on. Anything else coming out?
Yeah, I got some new merch coming out. New clothing coming out. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of new ideas. Like, I want to get my hands into film. know what I'm saying, shooting short films.
Okay.
I missed that era of like rap music where everything kind of came with like a little movie. The albums came with movies and shit. That was
I
like
remember that.
fire era, you know. My pops had all of the DVDs and shit, so I was like heavy on watching those, and I want to not bring it back, but just, you know, reapproach it like in a younger, fresher way.
Yeah.
My way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like all of that shit, anything creative, man, I plan to get my hands into it, like clothing, music, movies.
Have you worked on any videos, any directing like that?
I got a video coming right now. It's nothing too intricate.
Okay.
You know, it's just in studio performances. I've done, you know, little quick things like that. I've never invested so much time into curating a real cinematic experience.
Gotcha.
That's what I want to do. I want to really curate that shit. And that just comes with, like, you know, just a little more budget, you know, a little more detail in the script.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, just I'm with the timing of it all. I'm with the taking the time and doing it right. So that's what you expect from me.
I hear that.
This coming year for sure.
You got to do it right, man. Measure twice, cut once. That's what they say, man. I want to, you know, thank you for coming through. But before we go, I want to know, is there any way or anywhere that people can, you know, download your music? Is there like a site that you have?
Coming soon. I can't even get into that yet. Coming soon. I'll be back. I'll tell you about it when I come back around.
Okay. All right. Because we're going to have him back.
Yeah. Right now, just Apple Music. Apple Music still got me under my old name, Sparks God. You know what I'm saying? SPARKZGAWD. But everything else, Tidal, Spotify, YouTube, everything else, Justice Samari, JUSTICE SAMARI. You know what I'm saying? Justice Samari. All platforms, yeah, for sure.
So y'all out there, make sure you guys follow Justice Samari. Yeah. You guys keep up to date with what he got going, and we are going to have him back later on so we can say, listen, look, this is what we spoke about in the first interview, and this is what he's achieved since then. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna see it though.
I want to thank you for coming through. This is Mr. 13. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
And I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.